Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It's Sharon Wilson from Stampin' with Sharon, and welcome to my Friday Facebook Live. It's 10 o'clock it's 10:02 on Friday, what are we? The 18th of March today. Yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, the 17th, and today's the 18th, so yay! We're getting through this year pretty quickly. I don't know what's going on. This time is just running past at the moment. There's been so much going on around this. This week has been very, very busy for me. We've had lots of things going on with my eldest. She's in the Millennium Marching Band. If you know anything about Department of Education, they have a arts department, and my daughter's in the Millennium Marching Band, and that's a statewide marching band, and they performed for the first time since she joined. She joined in 2020, and it's the first time she's actually performed with them because of COVID. They haven't been able to perform at all for the last 2 years, so it was very exciting this week. We got to watch her perform, so that was very exciting. Today I wanted to share with you the Waves of the Ocean early release collection, and in the collection is a stamp set, a die set, some designer series paper, some foil, and some embellishments. And I do have the embellishments, I just realised. And so I wanted to show that to you and share a couple of projects. It's the first time I'm really playing with this this suite or this collection of products, and so I wanted to have a play while I'm doing it live. Why not? I seem to be able to get some inspiration. I'm going to mostly look at what Stampin' Up! Have actually provided as samples of the products, so that then I can sort of jump off that for inspiration and see how we go. So I'll put my screen, I'll show you the overhead camera, and we will have a bit of a play and see what I can come up with. So I want to go there and there, and I want to go that one. Hi. So this is the Waves of the Ocean. This is the flyer for it. And so it's available from the 1st of March to the 2nd of May. And as I said, it's an early release. So the dies and the stamp set. So these are the dies, and that's the stamp set. I'm just going to get rid of that. And you can see you've got two waves, two wave dies that can match together. A bit like our two-step stamping in some respect, so you can overlay them. There's also some banners, some clouds, and some dies that have birds and everything in it as well. And also this one here actually cuts out the pelican on the two stumps. So we'll have a bit of a play with that. So as I said, there's a few samples that Stampin' Up! Have put out, and so we will have a bit of a play and recreate some of those, I think. But the collection itself is $140, and in that you do get the bundle, so the stamps and the dies, and you also get the papers, and I'm just going to show you the papers and the embellishments as well. So these are the rhinestones. So I'll pull them out of the packet for you. Hopefully you might be able to see them a tiny bit better. And so in the embellishments, I don't know if you can see the colours that well, but it's looking like a bit of Coastal Cabana. Well, what are they? I wonder if they do say. There we go. Yeah, Coastal Cabana, Night of Navy, Pacific Point. And I feel like there's a green in there as well, which they haven't actually mentioned, I thought. Yeah, so there's a colour here, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's just the tones of them, but this is more of a green in here, so maybe it's a bit of granny apple green or something, but it's only listing three colours, so, but they're really pretty. So if you, I love embellishments, and these are lovely. These are really lovely, and you've got the different sizes as well. With the papers, so you've got 3 coloured foils. So you've got the silver, you've got the Coastal Cabana, and you've got the, I think, Night of Navy. It's yeah, Night of Navy, silver, and Coastal Cabana. Let's see if I can get a good colour. It's really hard to show foils. You sort of get a good view. There we go. See if that's sort of, hopefully you sort of get the idea of how beautiful these are. So, and then the papers, so I've got, so you've got you've got all these different patterns. I cut it down to 6 by 6 to make it a bit easier for us to see them. I get that one out of the way because I think that's shining and taking out some of my light. There we go. That one. So there's a few that are, quite a lot of them are blue, but they're all really, really pretty. So if you, if you enjoy the pattern and you like the pattern and you want to use the pattern, then grab your pack of Design Series paper. This will only be available, I believe, along with the foils and the embellishments. So the paper, the foils and the embellishments will only be available until the 2nd of May. It won't be available after that. The dies and the stamps will go into the next catalogue, but the papers and the foils won't. So just bear that in mind. If you like the collection, grab the collection now. And if you like the paper and the foils, I would probably try and get a few extra packs so you can keep playing with them. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, there's one card that I've seen, and it's not on that flyer, so that's not going to help me. I cut down some things, there we are. So I've cut down some papers, some cardstock, just to have a bit of a play. And so I'm going to use some Pacific Point to start with. So the colours in here are Pacific Point, Night of Navy, Coastal Cabana, Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green. So it's quite a few colours, which is nice. And one of the cards was just using some of the foils, so, and some of the papers, and just it was just having a bit of a play with the colours, and you can make these into some really good male oriented cards, which is good. We always need more male cards, don't we? Making cards for women is always easier, I feel, than it is for making cards for men. So I think we might just have a bit of a play with that one. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull out the pelican, and I'm going to stamp that in, what greys did I bring over? I did bring some over. There they are. Right in front of me, right to my right. So I think I might do grey granite for this one. Now I haven't stamped this before, so let's see how well I go. thing I might do is, because I'm doing grey granite, I might also grab some of my grey granite and I might cut out a banner with it as well. Oh, actually, maybe I will do white. And so I have my mini Stampin' Cut and Embossed machine with me today. This is the one that's on special at 20% off at the moment. You can get it, 20% off, and you can also save 20% on certain bundles as well. With this little machine, it actually has all the instructions on what you need to do with the embossing machine, and so you can actually, so this is die cutting, you've got embossing folders, and then you've got embossing folders. So one of them is just a standard embossing folder, and this one is the 3D embossing folder. So you usually pair it up with a plate, so one of the plates, but this one you're actually using it just with that one, and those two are the only ones for an embossing folder, for the 3D embossing folder. But I want to use, obviously I'm using dies, so I want to use this one, this plate. I want to use I want to use a number 2, and I want to use a number 2. So that's going to be my sandwich. So I'm going to have, sorry, plate number 1, plate number 2, my cardstock, and I should have brought my post-it notes over, which I think are just here. So I might just lay these on first so I get them as straight as I can. And then I'm going to cut the banner at the same time, and then lay my plate on top, and then roll it through. And so then I have my little pelican on the stumps, my banner, and a couple of bit of offcuts, which can go in the bin. It's a really cute little machine, that one. And these, and you can definitely use these dies with this machine, because it's only a 3-inch wide platform, and so these dies are perfect for it. Even the waves, excuse me, the waves will actually still go through as well. You can see that, so I'll put it on that one because you can see it better. So that's the width that you need, and yeah, they will go through beautifully. So if you haven't got a die cutting machine, then yeah, this would be perfect for these dies. So grab the Waves of the Ocean collection and the Stampin' Cut, the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and what would that be? That would be 140 and 83. Yeah, you'd be able to get this. Would you? Hang on. Oh yes, you can. You can get this. You can actually join Stampin' Up. You can purchase a starter kit, and this could be your starter kit. Yeah, that would be fabulous. All right, so going back to this one. So I think I want to layer. So I'm going to just move them more to the side, and I'll probably sort of put them on a bit on an angle and everything, and line them up. And I'm going to put my pelican over the top like that. And so yeah, this is very much a copy from other Stampin' Up designs already. So I'm not creating it out of my own head. But I will. What are we going to do? I might flip a few around Might put the blues towards the bottom and put the silver more towards the top, I think. So let's get out my seal. Where's my seal? There it is. Good morning, Manda. How are you today? I hope you're going well. Oop. Ugh. I'm just going to lay these onto the card, and I'm just going to, I'm not worrying too much if they go over the edge, because I'm just going to come back and I'll trim it all off the card. So that's okay that you're late. I don't mind. You've still popped on, so I'm glad you've joined me. Had tissues. The one thing with the foil is that you want to make sure that your hands are reasonably clean, because yeah, fingerprints end up on the foil. Or just grab a tissue so you can you can clean it off afterwards, which is me. So this one here, I'm going to do, I'm going to stamp on here. I want to do some twine around the edge. Actually, I just want to do twine around there. I'm just going to pull out some white, I think. I am very much, as I said, copying something else that I've seen. So let me see. Yeah, they've used actually they used the thinner banner. I'll change that. I'm going to trim out the other one. I'll trim out the other banner. I'm sure you're all used to me changing my mind all the time now. I'll do the happy birthday. Then I put my plates right there. So platform 1, platform 2, cardstock, die, platform 2. And through it goes with the wobbly camera and everything. I'll see if I'll show you that one. So this is the card here that I'm doing. This one here. This is the one I'm doing. So I'm just having a bit of a play. I've just trimmed it down to 3 inches by 1 inch. And I'm just layering them. So I'm just working on this bit now where I've got the happy birthday, and I'm just going to use some twine. So I'll just cut back to me again. So just use inspiration from Stampin' Up. It's just, why reinvent the wheel is what I say. And I think I'll do black. I think they've done black too. Oh, that's not straight. Let's try that again. Let's try and make it straight. This is where the stamparatus would come in really handy to make sure it was straight. Or stamp and then cut it out. That's another option. So I'm gonna wrap it around here. So feed it in. Oops. And feed it through. And then feed it through again. Oh, that's not right. I want to feed it down. think, is what I want. Something like that, but what I probably want to do is use dimensionals on this. So I probably want to just flip that over, put a couple of dimensionals on there to pop it up, and then that will also hold it in place on the foil. And then I should be able to just do some seal, and that should actually keep that in place as well. And where'd my pelican go? There he is. And so I didn't leave room underneath for the pelican, did I? Can I lift it up? Oh, I probably can. Without ruining it? I don't know. I think I'm going to just go there. I'm going to leave him there so I don't ruin him too much. And then just stick him down the bottom. Like that. And then I can flip him over and just trim down the excess. You could use your paper trimmer to do this rather than scissors. Well, I don't want to trim that because that's the trim. That's the thread. Don't want to trim that one down. I think I need to get new glasses. Then I've got my embellishments. So grab the take your pick tool. Do a few embellishments, just like that. And then inside, I'm just going to grab the happy birthday again, I think. I did have black, didn't I? There he is. And then just do the happy birthday on the inside as well. And I'll get my little pelican out again. And stamp my pelican. And then you've got, yeah, a nice mail card, I think. I think that's a pretty good card for a guy. So, or someone that likes blues and greens, I think that's good. Okay, next one. Let me see what else. I want to cut out the waves dies. So I've actually cut down some foil. pull my plates back over. And I'm going to cut out the foil in the blue, so the Night of Navy and the Coastal Cabana. And then I think I might layer it onto a couple of cards. So you've got some beautiful bits of foil that you could probably keep and use in like a shaker card or something else. I don't know. I'm sure there's a gazillion ideas that you can use the extra bits for. You could even use it for accents on the waves as well. So yeah, it's a beautiful intricate die. Really pretty. You just need to have a container to put all that stuff in though. So that was that one, wasn't it? Yes. So my other one, this one. I do notice that, yeah, my camera changes when I've got something really bright on the screen. It's a bit glary. And so you've got the outline of that one. So I'm fairly quiet today. You got this die. That's loud. And then if I pull out the paper, these ones. So you can just you could let the paper do most of your work for you, because you can, yeah, cut it down. You can actually cut this paper obviously as well, so that you can create the waves that way. It is quiet. All of a sudden I realise I'm not talking at all. That's right, I'm meant to be entertaining. I'm meant to be showing you something. Oh dear. Alright, I'm going to trim these down. The paper is stunning. It is really, really pretty. I'm going to trim this down to 3 inches. So it's going to be 3 inches by 6 inches, and then I can trim it down to the size of the card that I need it to be. You need to use the paper as well. You can't just let it sit there, enjoying it, admiring it. I mean, it's nice to admire the paper, but you need to use it. That's what I think. You definitely need to use the paper. So let's pull out some Coastal Cabana. If I use that one, I can do that one, or I can do that one. But what I might do, oh, it's very sharp, that one. Oh. Yeah, that one very much looks like it needs to sit right on the edge, doesn't it? But then you've got this bit that's not really going further. What width are they? What's the width of that? 5 1/4 or just shy of 5 1/4. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's about 5 1/4. So if you're in the US, yeah, it'll work quite well with your card. It's sort of a bit shy for our cards, because our cards are a bit wider. So what I might do is I'm going to pull out the wave. So this is the wave stamp as well. So yeah, maybe I might. I'm gonna stamp that first. I'm going to leave the paper for the moment. Let's set that aside. Pull out some grid paper just so I've got that out, and so I don't go over onto my photo paper. Let's stamp this stamp for the first time. So this is just tone on tone. Let's see. Sorry. I pushed my overhead camera back a bit this morning. So you've got that, and then you can quite easily just layer that straight over the top, like that. Or you can use the blue over the top. So it's really, yeah, it's really pretty. I don't think it's going to, I feel like it's not going to work as well on there, but you could also layer the two waves together, which gives a bit more intricacy and stuff. The other thing you can do, so I'm just going to put that aside for the moment, is these bits. So we've got the outline. So what you could do, I think I'll go that way. Yeah, that way. Sorry. And if I had a pen, I could do this very easily. But you could actually trace around and cut that out, fussy cut it, and that could be your base as well. And you could actually layer the dies onto that. So obviously this is the back side, and so you'd flip it over and you'd be able to layer that one on top. So oops, sorry, lay that one on top. So what I might do, I'm just going to go and grab a pen and I'll trace that now. Sorry, I'm back again. So this sort of becomes your template for your wave. And it's not going to have to be perfect because you're going to use the other side of this paper anyway, because you want it to go the same way as the wave. I didn't need to cut that bit, but anyway, I've already done it now. But as I said, yeah, this won't need to be perfect. In fact, I'm sort of going to go a bit further out than what I drew in the template. And so then I can actually use that. Oops, sorry. I can use that and that. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to fold it that way because I can put an insert in there over the top, and I'm going to cover up the wave that I stamped. So let's just do that. Like I like the tone on tone, but I think it'd be better if it was on top of the card as another layer. So, but for this one, I think what we're going to do is we're going to layer that on top of there. But I think I'm still going to use another layer on top of that too. So I want to grab out some Tombow. Thanks, Amanda. See, I think I work a bit better when I'm under a bit more pressure of going, okay, what am I going to do? I need to at least show you something. It's helped me. Doing Facebook Lives has actually helped me, I think, get a few other different designs and sort of bounce ideas a bit more. So it's been really cool. I've been enjoying it. So I hope you all have been enjoying watching me as well. And I hope I inspire you to get your products out to craft as well. So I think I still need to go on to something else. Where do the other ones go? You love tuning in each week? Oh, thank you. I'm just wondering, do I do something a bit more like that, or do I go darker for a sky? So I have gone quite light on it. So let's flip it. They're very sea focused, really. So, I don't know. I need some help. I don't think that's working for me. So maybe I need to change the card base. Maybe that's my problem. Or maybe I need to just break it up a bit more. I could break it up a bit more and do that. Something like that. A dark one, okay. Something more like that. You like it with the white matte, just the plain white matte, do you? Morning, Michelle. Okay. Well, what if we did something more like this and the white matte? I'm not sure either. Hence my dilemma. No, with the pink background and no and white matte. So you don't like the pink background, Michelle, and you want the white matte. Maybe I need to change the background. Like maybe I need to change the Coastal Cabana. Here we go. Let's try something else. What if we change it up completely You like the light DSP. I can go back to more of a Coastal Cabana one too. So there's that. So this has actually got the petal pink underneath. So let's move stuff out of the way. Maybe I should just trim it down. Maybe I should just trim them down and then I can change it. White behind the pink. Okay. Alright, let's trim this down for a sec. I do like this one. I really do like this one. I think this is it's a nice wavy one. Because it sort of carries on with the waves a bit more. I don't know. It's so hard. It almost looks like the water with the beach right here. Thanks, Amanda. Oh, I love crafting with you too. You like that one? Yeah, it's a really pretty one, isn't it? The paper just does a lot of the work for you, except when you can't decide what you want to do. If you can't decide what you want to do, that doesn't help. So that's too much of the same. There's that one, which is, I think that's actually the same paper, same pattern paper, but just a different section of it. There's that one, which is more bluey. And obviously back to that again. I didn't cut them all down. Oh, I did. Okay. We have lots of Coastal Cabana. We can go yellow. Back to that one again. Where'd my Coastal Cabana one go? There. So what about the light? Okay. So what if we do... This is very much a needing help. What about something like that with the white border? I'll wait for you to answer. Do we like that? I'm thinking we like that. You like the lighter DSP? But this one? So I feel like that's a bit too similar. And again, that's a bit too similar. Unless we flip it, but then, yeah. I'm feeling they're a bit too the same as the wave. There is that one. Does that clash too much? I think sometimes you get to the point where you just need to just go, I'm just going to do that and see how it looks and go with it. I like to contrast DSP. Yeah, but which one? Which one? Which one? No. I could put some vellum over the DSP. Alright, I'll go grab some. Hang on. you girls. All right, let's see how this goes. All right, we've got that over the DSP. Maybe if I do the vellum, I can probably go that little bit darker again. Too dark. Alright, so let's go. 1, 2. Where's the other one I liked? I like that one. That one. Alright, I think they're the one, they're the 4. And then and then we have to decide what we're gonna do. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't think it would be this difficult. Let's just go back to my old card. See, look. Ah, that's pretty. Look, that was easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got that one. I feel like it's a bit too dark. If I put the vellum over the top, yeah, it does take it down. And maybe I just need to put it on a white background. Maybe that's the thing. I need to just do a white background completely. You're saying 3 or 4? With or without vellum? Oh yeah, I could do the vellum with 3. I'm thinking 3. I'm thinking 3 might be the winner. White background? Or is that too much cabana? Let's just take these 2 out of the way. So move them out completely. While you're thinking. So I think Amanda likes this one. Do we need the white? Or do we just leave it? Too much? Yep, okay. Alright, let's get some white then. Okay. I've just got my basic white. Just the standard stuff, not the thick. I should use thick, but that would require me running back over there again. I'm not going to run back over there again right now. I won't say never in this session, but not right now. Okay, so if we trim that one down, that one's already... That's already 10. Okay, so I think I want to try and keep as much of the darker Oh, wrong way. I want to keep as much of the darker one as I can, I think. Okay, so we've got that. This has taken a lot more work. So now that I've got to that point, I need to do the sentiment. And I'm going to pull out, and I'm hoping this might work, I was going to pull out my white embossing powder and do a sentiment up here. That was my thought. Go, you're totally awesome. Your strength is an inspiration. Or I can stamp in black. But it needs to be stays on, I believe. But I could do white. I will need a big cup of tea after this. I think I'm only getting to 2 cards today, not 3. Once I do this, once I finish this one, I think I'm done. It's been fun. It's been fun. So let's do white, and let's see how that looks. I've got my embossing powder. It's going to get loud again because I'm going to have to go and heat emboss. So just let me get this straight. My heat embossing, my heat gun is actually plugged in right now, so, but it's behind the fake wall. So I'll go and heat emboss this. So I have my white, and I grabbed my stays on as well. So this is one I haven't used stays on for a long time, so I'm hoping it comes out alright. No, it's not. It's as dry. It's so dry. Alright. Let's go with Memento. I can't remember if I should stamp in Memento. Yeah, I do. Yeah, the white is nice, isn't it? So we've got the black. And the white. I think the white's okay. I think the white works. Oh, which way is it? Hang on. Wrong way. Wrong side. So I'm gonna, do you know what I should do? I really should stick the wave down first and then stick the vellum on, but anyway. I didn't do that. I'm going to pull him out a bit as well. Unless I just move him that way and then I trim it back a bit further, but white. Everyone's saying white. That's good, because I've made the decision to do white too. Here's my white. Now, if I go another layer of white and then trim that down a bit further, white. Okay. Oop. Oh. The vellum's not sitting straight, but I should be able to just trim that down, I hope. So, alright, so now I'm about the same size as that. So if I trim it down further to be this one, I think that's what I want. Smidge more than 9.5. Maybe about there. See how that looks. It's only a small, it's a small border, but it's a border. So I could, by rights, bring in this again just to see. Still too much cabana. There you go. Sorry, I'm concentrating again. Okay. This took way longer than it really should have. But I appreciate the assistance that I have had this morning with getting the card done. Alright, so not cabana. Oops, get rid of that. White or cabana? I'm just going to clean up. White or cabana? So this is the white. That's the cabana. I'm almost tempted to go back to cabana, you know. Now that I've got the white underneath, I think it's taken the starkness out. You're still saying white. Oh, that was the embossing powder. Yeah, I'm actually liking this now. Yep. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate that. After all that, hey, after all that, we're going back to Cabana again because we've got the white underneath. All right, let's stick that down before we change our minds. And then on the inside, what have we got on the inside that we're going to do? Maybe I can do another pelican. I think I can do the pelican again. Here's my grey granite. It does break it up nicely, yes, I agree. Let's do my pelican. It's probably not the ideal colour, but let's not quibble over the inside now. Let's just cover up that wave that we don't need. Okay, now that we've got that sorted, so I still have my navy one, but I might use that later because I've already taken up more than an hour of your time. So I do want to do a couple of embellishments though, I think. Let's go with these ones. Oh, do I need them? Let's do a couple in the waves. Let's just leave it there. What an ordeal. What an ordeal that was today. Wow. So we've got, as I said, we've got the Waves of the Ocean collection. Waves of the Ocean promotion. Waves of the Ocean collection that's available right now until the 2nd of May. It's $140, I'm pretty sure, yes. Sorry. It's $140 and just excuse the mess now. For the $140 you get the dies, the stamps, the paper, the foil and the embellishments. And as I said earlier, if you added in your mini Stampin' Cut and Embossed machine, that is $100 and something. $123, which you could probably add something else on. Is that right? 123. Yeah, $123. So you have up to $235 to spend within the starter kit, and you only pay $169 if you actually order this all together. So you save massive amounts of money. So yeah, so if you would like to purchase the starter, or if you're interested in doing the Waves of the Ocean and you want the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, purchase the starter kit. Join Stampin' Up, and then you will get the perks of getting an extra 20% discount every time you place an order. And I'd love to welcome you to my team if you'd like to join me. It's sharonwilson.stampinup.net, and you can click the join now or the shop now, whichever you'd like. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, ladies, for helping me create these cards. I like this one. This was obviously inspired from one of the projects that Stampin' Up did, and this one we've just pulled it out today, so yay. So, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a lovely day, a lovely weekend, and you keep healthy and well. Thanks. See you later. Bye.